This is a special edition of Cooking with Chat, starring
Camryn.
Miss lovely Camryn.
We're gonna make street tacos. It's good, it's quick, it's easy, and who doesn't like tacos? So
Exactly. So, what's the first thing we're supposed to do? Because I don't know how to cook tacos.
look, I don't either. Just kidding. So first, you want to wash your hands, period, because this is Corona Lachey time.
Yes, ma'am.
And yes, so soap and warm water. So I already did that off camera, but wash your hands first. Then I got my ground beef, and you can do shrimp tacos, fish, whatever you like, but for today we're gonna do ground beef. So I got the ground beef out, and obviously, or if you don't know, you don't have to rinse ground beef. So I put it in a pan on the stove, and I didn't put it too high because when I put the seasonings and the spices in there, I want it to be able to settle in, so you don't want the pan too hot. So next, you want to cut up your seasonings. So what I'm going to use today is onion and, I just said onion, onion and bell pepper. So first you want to, of course, rinse your vegetables because there could be like bugs or just people that are handling it in the store. And you obviously want to take off the tag because
Don't want that.
you don't want to eat.
I want a tag. That would be terrible.
Choke on a tag.
And as we're cooking, I just want to advertise.
Look, choke on a tag and get a bag. Okay. Okay.
You're funny. I'm going to advertise these 2 bottles. Because wine and tacos, you can't hurt. Today's Taco Tuesday, but I might just...
I didn't even... Wow, that just hit me.
Today's Taco Tuesday. So, right now it's Thursday, in which I'm uploading it,
Oh. Okay.
but today's Taco Tuesday. So what are we doing, Camryn? What are you doing right now?
So now I'm just cutting the bell pepper. And you can put as much as you like depending on the taste. So if you like it more spicier, then you can obviously put more bell pepper. I'm just gonna put about 2, you need a better knife. Do you have like a sharper knife? This is a butter knife.
This is getting edited out.
Do you have like a sharper knife?
I do. Let me see.
We gonna
We
be
ain't
out
cut
here for
nothing.
years using a.
Is this good enough?
That's might cut my Okay, I'm like worried.
What?
It might be too high.
Turn it down. Just turn it down. Turn it lower. Because we don't need it to cook fast.
Yeah, I feel like it's like burning the pan. I don't know. I think we need a bigger pot. No, it is.
That's why I was figuring out.
I don't think you have a big
Figuring out why you just do it in there.
one. Yeah, I don't think you have a big
Is this good enough or no?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Alright.
Perfect.
What are you chopping up? Why is it necessary to chop it up or what?
So I just feel like you should have a good kind of base, which is the meat. And so if your meat doesn't have good flavoring to it, then it's kind of like, what's the point? You're eating a bland taco.
Right.
This knife is a lot bigger. Of course, you can use a smaller knife, but you know, we're just trying to use what we have. So when you slice up the bell pepper, I'm slicing it into almost like strips, but then I'm gonna dice it into smaller pieces. But again, that has to do with personal preference. If you really like the taste of bell pepper, then you can have bigger pieces. But I personally don't like, you know, it to be too big. When I'm like eating the taco, I don't want to like be crunching down on a huge bell pepper. So I personally like it to be a little smaller.
Okay. Wow. So right now, it's thing called hot pico de gallo. Is that how you say it?
Yeah, pico de gallo. That's usually like you can just get that in a Mexican restaurant. I used to not like pico de gallo, but the older I get, the more my like palate changes, and so I'm really into like spicy foods now. And my mom's from New Orleans, so I'm very used to like hella spicy foods.
Great cooking.
Oh yeah, I'm still learning because like since I'm an RA, I still live in a dorm, unfortunately, so I can't cook as much, but that's why it's nice to have friends that have apartments and houses, because I can cook at their places and kind of get more practice, because eventually I am manifesting that I will live in my own apartment or townhome or whatever, and you gotta cook if you want to eat, because ain't nobody got money to be eating out every day. I would if I could, but I'm trying to be better.
Okay, what have you been cooking for? I mean, it seems like you have a good knowledge about foods.
Not long. I started in the summer because
This summer?
more like last summer.
Okay.
Because I used to not care to cook because my mom was the one always cooking in the house. But the older I've gotten, I just realized like you gotta learn at some point.
Exactly.
So I just do like simple stuff like lasagna, smothered baked chicken, spaghetti, just kind of stuff like that. My mom hasn't taught me how to cook like gumbo and etouffee and all that, you know, difficult stuff, but I definitely want to learn at some point because you gotta cook for your man one day, ladies. Okay, that's sexist. He can cook for you too.
Oh my goodness. We got the bell peppers being cut right now. Is there anything else as far as do I call them spices or like what do you call them? Like the
extra seasonings, I guess you could say. Like there's not really a fancy term to put it, to be honest. Don't say that, because you're new to it.
I'm not the best cooker, you know. I'm a beginner. I know how to make my basic meals to get me through the week, you know.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I'm still learning. I gotta be more patient. My problem is
I want it
right
now.
And the thing is, I only cook when I'm hungry. That's the worst thing to do. When you cook when you're hungry, you always be like, all right, I need to get this food done quick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so that'd be my problem at the time. So I gotta kind of meal prep, and then, you know.
They say to never go to the grocery store hungry because you'll just buy random stuff. Finished chopping up the bell pepper, and now I'm just gonna add it to the meat so it can start.
Okay. Add it.
Adding flavor in here.
Okay. Got the lettuce too on there. Got the lettuce. And, you still got onions to cut.
I'm only gonna put a little bit of onions because I'm not a. Do you like onions? Yeah, I'm not a big fan of onions. So again, I say that you should cook to your own personal preference. If you don't like a lot of onions, don't put a lot of it in it, because then you're obviously not gonna really care for it.
Right.
Got my onion. I'm just gonna cut like literally a fourth, like not
just a little bit.
I feel like I'm gonna cut my finger. This
thing
big
is
daddy
huge.
knife.
It's the big what knife?
The big.
This thing is huge. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay. So, and I'm not like fancy when I cut up. Some people are like, shh. That's not me. I'm not there yet. Y'all will watch me cut my finger off.
Hold on, I gotta get rid
Oh yeah.
actually see it. The amateur. Hey, I can't cut, so she know more than me.
I'm just trying not to cut my finger on this. Just a little bit, just for taste. Because again, we're gonna add other seasoning, so you really don't need that much. So now I'm just gonna add it to the meat. Got my spatula, and I always rinse my dishes before I use it, because just in case like dust or anything collected.
Exactly.
That's just the nurse in me,
Always
okay?
best.
Cleanliness.
Cleanliness.
And this is just a tip, thank you. When you're working with raw meat or raw chicken, whatever it is, make sure that you're washing your hands in between what you're doing. So when I picked up the meat and put it in the pan, I washed my hands. If I were to touch it again or whatever before I picked up the onion, you would wash your hands, because that's how you can get like salmonella or just get really sick if you're touching uncooked things with cooked things. Like,
It makes sense. It makes sense. It makes sense.
yeah, you just want to be clean in the kitchen, okay? So now as the bell pepper and onion is cooking into the meat, now it's really important to start putting your other seasoning so it can get in there really good as it's cooking. So I'm going to be using a little bit of garlic salt, some garlic powder, minced onion, because even though I used onion already, you can still use just a little bit more. And Italian seasoning. This just always gives it like a good flavor. Even though it's Mexican food, Italian seasoning just...
What does it give?
a good flavoring. And parsley flakes. I think that's just good for appearance too, but it also gives a good taste. And of course, you gotta have some Creole seasoning now. You got the Creole seasoning! When I tell you, this friendship is 90% of the time him going... shaking my head.
Me cringing
at everything I say, but it's fine. Okay, so I'm gonna take these over there just to make it easier. And that's another thing, put what you're doing close to the pot so you're not having to like make trips back and forth. I know some people are weird about seasoning. They're like, oh, you don't want to put too much, blah, 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 but to me, more is more. And my sister taught me that, because I used to be like, oh, I don't want to put too much. But she's like, Camryn, it's okay, because you would rather your food be really seasoned than people tasting your food and they're like, this is bland as hell. Okay.
So, high blood pressure pretty much, so, you know, all that.
So the garlic salt, I didn't put too much because hypertension. Parsley flakes. Garlic powder, adding a little bit of onion because I already used the real onion, so just add a little bit of it.
I don't even know how to open this. I'm trying to. Yeah, this ain't getting open. I don't think it's getting open.
It is today. We should talk about how we became friends, because you were gonna be like, this is the weirdest friendship. We're so different.
I don't even know.
Freshman year. We met freshman year. So we met freshman year. I would always see him outside of the cab, and we just start having conversations about like, oh, school is hard, blah, blah, blah. Freshman, school, hard, yeah, right.
Right.
And then like, as the years went on and I got into nursing school, I didn't see him as much because I was a hermit crab, literally had no life. That's nursing. But yeah, we didn't talk for like 2 years. And then, like, I think it was last year, we rekindled our friendship, and like, we just have so much fun together. Like, we
All
are
the time.
crazy.
Crazy.
Yeah. Definitely, because we're so different, but
Alike.
alike at the same time. But Josh is one of those friends where like, he'll tell you straight up what you need to hear, which is good, and I need that sometimes.
bullshit.
squishiness. Yeah.
BS.
So, not you
It's
coming
over.
inside joke board.
Oh, the inside joke board. Oh yeah, we got an inside joke board. Like, it's a board of all of our inside jokes, and it's a lot.
Let's just say some of them aren't even appropriate to repeat.
Yeah, not appropriate. So, yeah.
Yikes.
Yikes. 3,000.
Oh! And again, as you
Cook your food.
are cooking it, yeah, you don't just want to. So the meat is done. It's brown and cooked. So I placed it to the. You're fine. So I placed it to the side. And y'all, the spices are getting up our noses. Like, I think I sneezed about 10 times on camera, but that's when you know you're cooking good and you're seasoning good, when you start sneezing and stuff. So now this is the pan for the tortillas, and we're gonna be doing soft shell tacos, so soft tortillas, but you can do the hard shell too. Just depends on what you like. So of course I'm going to rinse the pan, and then of course you want to use like some type of non-stick spray, or you can use butter just to make sure that whatever you're using doesn't stick to the pan. Oh yeah, the butter.
Ooh. That worked.
We're so cringy. We're not really this
Is that a song?
cringy. We just do it for fun.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Crazy.
Okay, so I finished cooking the tortilla. It was really easy and quick because you don't want to cook it too long, because again, you don't want it hard because it is a soft tortilla. And I used butter as my base, so it's nice and buttery, but I didn't use too much butter. So now I'm gonna make my taco. I have pico de gallo, just simple shred. A little worried about like, oh, this looks like a lot, then the bottom of the meat, the side, is not gonna be cooked.
Makes sense.
I like it. The sausage.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
The salsa, it's a very sweet salsa, so I will say if you like more of like a spicy salsa, I wouldn't get this brand because it is sweet. Like, it has a hint of honey. Did you taste that?
Yeah.
But it is good.
That's a really good taste buds there. Recognize that. Taste buds or taste. Is that right? Taste buds.
Same thing.
But I guess that caps off special edition cooking with chat.
It's nice to get a break from studying. Whenever somebody's like, want to come here, want to do the, yes, whatever it is, yes. Just get me out of my room, please.
So that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Like, comment,
Subscribe.
and we out. You guys gonna do the dance?